pick the next map you had to go on, so you kind of had to what they were going to play and like what they enjoyed playing. So more concentrated and focused training on certain maps. Nepal is going to be the first one though. I'm going to jump onto Village.
Speaking of concentration and focus, you can see it in the faces of Team MVP right there. They are very much in the zone right now. GEEKSTAR are going to be trying to be the same. And right now, Team MVP, of course, they can hover what they want. We're in the dropships, Jaws, so let's talk about what we would usually see on Village. This is where often you can actually see a mech. I'd say that's one of the more common isomers of the 3-3 composition that you would see on this point, because, of course, Village does have two primary entrances to a point, both of which are very well suited to a Mabel being put within. It does seem like both of our teams right now are going to hover on the classic 3-3. So this is definitely going to give us a good idea of where these teams stand in terms of power levels, when often with these series, like the relative 3-3 strength can determine which team will relent first and try something different.
Just running out of the 3-3 regardless though. Oh, nice little booth actually onto Leo. So what, Leo now going at loggerheads with each other. Okay, we'll see playing a little bit more aggro. You can see off to the sidelines there. You see Jasper, but he's going to take very low. Going to get taken very low. Same with Gable C, who has to back off as well. GEEKSTAR are actually forced onto the point at this point. Kind of when they want to be, but in the next couple of seconds, Team MVP will be fighting over the space. And speaking of space, it's going to be gained a little bit more now by Team MVP as Leo does end up going down. Shield got broken so early on. Focused down by Finn and the rest of the team. Finn finds himself a nice double kill, triple kill in fact to start off the fight, quadra kill in fact. Can he get 6? No, he can't because Valentine stole that other one.
Come on, Valentine, be a team player.
Finn getting a quadra kill to start off with, not too shabby, earning himself a Transcendence to boot.
Yeah, went in and I said, you know what, Finn's a really good Zen, and turns out Finn is a really good Zen. But what happened there is that Leo, he had his shield broken because Gable C got so aggressive, took a lot of damage, and could not afford for Leo to stagger his shield because Gable C would have lost his own mech. So unfortunately for him, Leo just ended up losing all of his shield health, was caught out in the middle of nowhere with no chance to have some recourse. And that meant that he was easily taken down there by Finn, which means a lot of damage came on through. Transcendence is going to be available for him, who will be joining him shortly, however.
Yeah, they're going to jump straight on top. There's both rallies coming out. Start off the beginning of the engagement. Rookie just doing so much damage in the sidelines, forces Who to actually use that Transcendence, and now they're going to have to contend with Rookie's grab. He pins it to the wall so it can't get eaten. Gable C taking so much damage as another grab comes out as well, pinning the rest of Team MVP to the wall. Rookie ends up falling there as he goes so aggressive and actually trapped on the other side. Team MVP still control the point though, so all they need to do right now is stall, hopefully stabilize, and watch out for Leo's Shadow.
Shadow versus Shadow will be the play again here.
Oh, he ends up going down. I thought he hit the Q button there. Oh no, so what? Sorry, did hear the Q button. I did hear the voice line go off, but he actually got cancelled by Leo, who just swung through his shield. And now the rest of GEEKSTAR are going to be able to mop up the rest of Team MVP. What a perfect intersection of the Reinhardt. Easy to take it down, and now one less ultimate available for Team MVP on the next fight.
Hyper risky play there by Selwat. Thought he could definitely get the drop there onto Leo, but Leo was more than ready, giving a quick smack across the face with the hammer. Does mean that ultimate will now no longer be available. And Team MVP invested so heavily in that last fight, the GEEKSTAR, they look so prepared to make this defense work. Already 20% in their favor. Team MVP only got 64% before the point was kidnapped away.
There comes the beat.
Oh, good
charge
catch.
kill onto Leo. Leo jumping down from the heavens, but a better catch onto Valentine. The recharge does find the kill. Team MVP kind of holding their head in the hands at that point. It's like, I got the pin. He's going to die. And then he charges right back in.
Dudes.
Actually kills Valentine instead.
Yeah, I'm surprised Valentine there did not have the shield bash available to sort of counteract that charge and give a mutual stun to both of them. If that happened, Leo would have definitely gone all the way down, and potentially GEEKSTAR would have lost out on that one.
Graviton Surge is going to come in though, as they do trap themselves all in this small corridor. No one falling just yet, as the Transcender was a little bit too much for them to actually bear. Leo ended up having to back off. Leo's going to at least find 1 kill on Fropey. However, the rest of the team are going to have to re-engage at this point. They are on 65%, well 64% I should say. GEEKSTAR now claiming the lead, although it's rather small.
It will be a small lead, but speaking of leads, right now Team MVP have a massive lead in terms of the main playmaker with the Graviton Surge. Jaws, the rookie's ready to lay that one down at a moment's notice, and that could be the massive playmaker of any fight in a 3-3 battle. They're going to meet up on the point straight away. Shield versus Shield. Leo can't afford to have it broken again like was in the first fight. Finn's already down.
Lay down the Shadow. That's a beautiful Shadow. Another counter one coming in from Leo, but he doesn't really catch anything at all. Does find the pin, but the rest of the team are going to roundabout on him. Although so what? There's going down to Assassin. Graviton Surge, mix with the bomb. Gable C finds one. Young one cleaning up as well. Leo comes back to the fray like, hey, how's it going? OT now ticking through. MVP are going to lose this first map on Village. There's GEEKSTAR playing the first. Okay, good start for them. Momentum shifted into their favor after that initial cap from MVP.
High value ultimates right there. Yeonwon's looking very good on Messiah right now, being a very effective role. And obviously, if he gets that opening pick onto Finn, that means that Leo can be as aggressive as he wants, because he's not taking any additional damage from a Discord Orb anymore, which effectively means on patch 1.32 that he has 30% more health than you'd see from Sobot, who effectively has it reduced by the Discord Orb being always upon him. Finn there showing off his Horde banner. You Alliance or Horde, Jules?
Horde every day.
Exactly. Like, who picks up a high fantasy game to play as a human?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's.
I think you get that from the collector's edition of Battle for Azeroth, by the way. There's another plug. Cashing that checks in.
Cashing those checks, dude. For all of them mail. So we're going to be the mail. Team MVP are going to be mailing some condolences over to GEEKSTAR after they get a few kills. For OP, going to, for now, just be brawling out behind. There's a speed boost trying to get a little bit of a boop onto Leo.
Uh-oh. You don't want to be in that situation, really. For OP now, just taking himself to the skies. Just trying to find another boot. Both teams still contesting the point, so we're going extremely low. The rest of the team are going to have to corral around him, even speed boost him out at this point. They really want to stabilize again. Point being capped by GEEKSTAR, though. MVP cannot let this happen. They do forgo the point, not for just a moment, as they do end up taking it. Leo going down, though, is a very good start.
And the second that Reinhardt goes down, it's all about just being able to stabilize. You don't get too aggressive. You've got to make sure you stabilize behind that shield, and you can take advantage of the resources you have available, namely that on-demand shield, which means that Rookie can stay very safe. The same with Jasper. Gabe will see losing that mech, of course, because it can just be carved down by the Xayah. The same cannot be said for Jasper, who can easily hide behind that shield, just keep on plinking away with those fusion cannons. A great position to be in as a diva if you have a Reinhardt and the enemy team does not, because Leo there fell a little bit too early. It's going to be the full cap here for MVP. They've got a lot of ultimates to go into with this next fight. Maybe a wash in this next particular engagement for GEEKSTAR.
15% was all that was required by GEEKSTAR as they move on to the point. MVP in their one true colours. The whites have got all those sticks available. Beautiful shatter in the front line, but instant transcendence to make sure they survive the oncoming fire. Rookie still has that Graviton Surge, and Soul actually takes out Leo in the mess of it all. A grab comes out from GEEKSTAR, but have they got the follow-up necessary? With Leo gone, they haven't really got much to swing into the grab with, and Rookie can now just take control and pace of the fight. They still got 50% now built up, as the rest of GEEKSTAR do get routed, and they do end up having to go back to spawn. One ult fight, oh no, sorry, two ults, as Valentine did use that rally, and Finn used that Transcendence. In fact, it was 3, I can't count today, clearly. But they'll be counting their lucky stars that they only have to invest that, as Rookie and Jasper have the combo to move into next.
Yeah, Yeonwon a little bit desperate there, evidently. Leo falls and they still use the Graviton Surge. There's not enough cleave to make it work, but if Sobot can survive as Rookie lets this go, evidently he will be able to not only get that Graviton Surge, but a huge amount of damage to his name. Dopey may have to answer it, of course, with the sound barrier.
He's got it, but will he use it on this?
There it is.
Yes, he does. Okay, Transcendence not available. That Graviton Surge almost hitting for Sobot before he landed on the ground. He was taken out, and now Yeonwon finding a kill for GEEKSTAR now shifts their momentum. Now, what did MVP do here? They can find the next couple of picks, but losing this fight wasn't the worst thing in the world because GEEKSTAR have only got 15%. That's all that they actually have. Valentine coming back, though, and actually finding 2 of his own. It's actually going to rally to push onto the fight. I mean, you might as well. They still control the point, and Sobot's actually managed to get back to the fray as well.
And Finn almost has that Transcendence if he wants to use it, but the Graviton Surge may seal the fate of Team MVP here. GEEKSTAR have had to invest so heavily just to try and win this one out. It's still in overtime, Jules.
Yeah, Froppy actually ends up going down, but Leo's going to get traded. He's going way too aggressive, and Sobot takes his life away. Who's going to use the Transcendence on the side of GEEKSTAR to make sure they stay in the fight? And self-destruct, although Vanilla might find something, it does. It finds Rookie, who's booted back into the grab, or into the self-destruct, I should say. As GEEKSTAR still fighting on this point, trying to force MVP away, but investing so heavily. They do manage to find the flip, however.
Great usage of boops here from GEEKSTAR, but look at those ultimate percentages right now from Team MVP. Basically all of them sitting above 50%, and with the amount of time they have with GEEKSTAR's current percentage at about 25%, it's going to mean that they can afford to go for that 6 ultimate push if they wish to. I don't want to see them invest anything too early, just try and get some ultimates out of GEEKSTAR, but they may know that this is one of their greatest potential engagements because of a lack of ultimates available for GEEKSTAR themselves. They could brawl out and get those ultimates more quickly, be quicker on the trigger finger, and steal this map away.
They still got ults to their name. So what has that shadow available to him? He's going to have to make it big. The self-destruct is available for Jasper. However, can he actually get it off is the question. Nice counter charge there onto Leo, but the beat is going to come through just before who actually ends up going down. Instantly Finn cakes the kill and uses that Transcendence to force them forward. And now a grab, landing on 3 people of GEEKSTAR. They end up falling. There's no way Assassin and Leo can get back up from this one. Team MVP should be able to find the flip around. No way someone can touch now. Doppy was able to stall out for just a little bit longer, but MVP are going to be able to find the recap. OWC now ticking through. Transcendence is going to get used by Who to force himself on the back of the point, but Jasper was waiting there with the boot. Did manage to force him away and tying up Nepal, 1 apiece.
A tale of 2 99% round draws, both of them opening with a pick onto the enemies and Yada from their counterpart. The first time it was Who taking out Finn, and this time Finn taking out Who. And you know, the second that Finn let loose on that right click, he popped up with that Transcendence, making sure that there was not only an advantage in terms of the Discord orb available there for Team MVP, but also in terms of the healing available, because the Harmony orb couldn't be there. And Who, he was so close to the Transcendence, he was about 94%, and being able to remove that was such a huge boon there for Team MVP. Right now, GEEKSTAR, they're hovering over double DPS. I'm not sure if this will continue to be a thing. Right now, it does look like they will have the single with Yeon-won on the McCree.
Well, they're going to run out of Orisa too, so you can kind of hold behind the Orisa shield. It's kind of a common pick up, really, for this Sanctum. However, I would like to see a little bit of Roadhog, not going to lie to you. Roadhog getting hooks across here and then just dunking people into the wells. Kind of a pleasant thing to see. Rather aggressive engagement from Team MVP though. Nice little boot from Doppy. He does find, oh no, Valentine and Rookie both end up going down. Rookie used the right click there to make sure no ultimate charge actually went over to the side of GEEKSTAR. So he did end up killing himself rather than someone else securing credit for the kill.
That was actually a really cool bit of tech as well. You see where that shield is, that's actually right on the corner. So Valentine tried to shield bash back on, but because shield bash can no longer go through shields, he just sort of hit the Orisa shield and fell off of it. Which was a really neat placement from Leo, getting those double knockbacks. Not sure if that was intentional, but at any rate, it did kill Valentine, so you can take credit for that one, Leo and Dopey. Great job from them, and now GEEKSTAR will have control. That's exactly where we want to be with this Orisa. Team MVP are going to try and out-rotate them, so what makes his dive to engage.
Yeah, the McCree doing so much work though. Those Fan the Hammers doing a lot of damage, but can you actually get the follow-up? Doppy is going to go down, same with Leo, as MVP claim at least 2 kills. Deadeye from Yeon-won went a little bit wide. No one really going to get caught out by that one. He's trying to dink some heads from the background, from the foreground of this fight. But
from the mid-ground.
The mid-ground, foreground, yeah, we need to pick one of those. Like, he's somewhere in the fight just trying to find kills, but he ends up going down. There's no way that they're going to be able to do all of anything here. Yeon-won has to be so defensive. You've got to be careful of Team MVP just jumping on to him with So What and Jasper, and even Rookie kind of walking up to him as well with the speed boost of Froppy. Team MVP now at 17%. They did manage to find the flip, of course. GEEKSTAR only finding 40.
Yeah, 1.32 isn't quite the Ultra Noon patch. We'll have to wait until playoff to see that particular one. So What's now in a great position to make a deep dive. He does have that additional 1000 HP buffer with a Primal Rage, and he can also use that to knock people into the pit of Sanctum, should he wish to use it. There's the dive.
Yeah, Primal Rage is going to get used as well. Knocking people into the death pit is going to be the main priority for So What, but everybody's just kind of caught on these walls. Now he decides to commit his body to the point as the Primal Rage was running out. And now Rookie with the Graviton Surge is going to be able to lay it down when he wants, but Leo just making sure he pays the price, having to back off at this point. But Leo goes a little bit too aggressive. Jasper actually taking him down. You force yourself into that room, you got one exit to really go for, and Jasper was looking for him. Still, GEEKSTAR managing to back off, at least for the time being. Team MVP are going to still hold 60% now. GEEKSTAR very close to kind of losing this map right now. MVP have got all the answers. GEEKSTAR have almost 0.
Really not a fan of Gabeluchi's use of the self-destruct right there, as they were disengaging. Should have just thrown himself down the pit already though. Leo going for a deep engage. He's got both the bubbles. He's going to be so vulnerable.
Rookie's still got the grab though. This is what I'm kind of scared about at this point. I think GEEKSTAR should be the same. However, Who just right-clicking him to death from across the way. But he's taking him out of the fight, and that's one key win condition now down for MVP. GableC's mech ends up going down. Nice brawling out for GEEKSTAR right here, but Team MVP don't really need to commit anything whatsoever. They're still managing to stall, and it's actually Yeon-won that pulls the trigger on the grab first in order to signal the end of the team fight. Team MVP have been scattered. However, GEEKSTAR finding the flip is a bit of a sorry situation for them, because they need to play this map out perfectly in order to secure Nepal.
Yeah, for once, Yomon, that Graviton Surge, I don't think that was really that useful, managing to get 1 or 2 people in cleanup, and Rookie's now going to have a huge advantage on that. Almost 5 ultimates available here for MVP space. They can come straight back and get the best potential to counter-attack here, especially if they can force out an early Transcendence or a Sound Barrier with these dives.
Nice grab. Makes the self-destruct as well. No way the mech is going to survive that one. GoC gets ejected from it, instantly killed off. Good start from Team MVP, removing the Diva, and now they can move their way onto the point. Leo going so low, has to activate the Primal Rage. Team MVP still fighting. They still got that beat to work with, as they do end up unleashing it, but Solwat's going to use a Primal Rage of his own. Leo finds one Infinity, pushes him over the side. Now no Transcendence available for them in this fight. This clock is building up, but Team MVP refusing to let go of GEEKSTAR right now. They want to eat this fight, and they eat the grab as well. Yeonwon's grab goes straight into the Diva mech. GoC coming alive as well, taken out. So what? Now they're just dueling out. A self-destruct gets launched onto the point as Jasper gets instantly demeched, and he gets killed off as well. GEEKSTAR coming back. Rookie doesn't get off the point in time. And that boot kill actually onto Finn might have just been the saving grace. He wasn't able to use the Transcendence, had to touch at the very end, and GEEKSTAR ending up going 1-0 up in the series.
Could be all that they needed. Even with an eaten grab from Yeonwon, there was still enough offensive power there from the side of GEEKSTAR to take that. And once again, I pointed out how in the previous match, I felt that Gabe Ulsi was really contributing a lot in the WGS Armament versus GEEKSTAR sort of win. And once again, he's brawling out incredibly well. Like, I feel like his self-destruct usage still leaves a little bit to be desired, but when it comes to his basic mechanics and chase downs, when it comes to like checking, so what? Often Winston checking is your huge priority as a diva. Definitely that's going well for him.
Well, we got Blizzard World coming up soon, guys. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Hey guys, welcome back. GEEKSTAR versus Team MVP. GEEKSTAR managing to clutch it out on the Paul Sanctum. But we got Blizzard World coming up next. Team MVP still looking strong coming into it, but GEEKSTAR, like we mentioned before at the start of the series, they need to be able to win this to actually see a light in playoffs.
Yeah, they're making their run back into the season after a kind of dismal start. I think at some point they were 0-4, so they're going to try and make that run to go 3-4 to try and get themselves to playoffs. That would be the optimal scenario, and to do that, they've got to go 2-4 today by beating out Team MVP, and they've had the best start, winning out Control. We will move forward, however, onto Blizzard World. Maybe we'll see some interesting things here. Of course, we just have Wu Yao on the Torbjorn on our previous matchup against Element Mystic. Maybe some similar things will come out here, but I doubt we'll see the Torb 3-2-1 again.
Kind of hope we would. I just thought of another name for it as well. You could have Hammer Goats. That's a pretty good name, but...
Molten Goats.
Molten Goats, also pretty good. Although, like I said before, the name variations do annoy me a little bit, but... It's normal goats and then variations. No more names, no more acronyms. It just doesn't make sense. We're going to have too many.
Or as Element Mystic probably called it, 3-3.
3-3. Easy game. Well, then they lost the series, which is kind of bad, but... Here's what it is. Blizzard World, as we jump into it. Team MVP in the white, thankfully. I'm sure they're happy with that. Give a little bit of a morale boost coming into this series, maybe. On the offense, GEEKSTAR, they're in the green.
Or in the black, as some of the primary colors of the skins would dictate, which is kind of thematic. I'm happy with that. Waffle is in, and Dorpy is out.
Yeah.
And we talked about this at the beginning, but I think that Leo is probably the main caller here for GEEKSTAR due to their shuffling of a main support, who usually can have your main caller role in many teams. But this does also mean that the main support is usually the one responsible for ultimate tracking when it comes to communications. So we may see some variability in the quality of ultimate tracking for GEEKSTAR between Dorpy and Waffle.
Maybe so. Starting out on the defense. It is loser's choice as well, so MVP did want to actually go on offense this time around. Finn just killing himself in spawn, just threatening the Pharah. Although we can imagine, and what we can see, of course, GEEKSTAR can't see it just yet. They are just standard.
Will be standard 3-3 versus standard 3-3 again. It was quite a close round, of course, on the pool, so potentially GEEKSTAR and MVP both thinking that they will be able to win out on these compositions when there's a bit more of a structured playstyle like you'd find on a hybrid or escort map or assault. Control's a little bit more random, a little bit more sort of butting heads together with a little bit less strategy. I'd say it's a lot more indicative of individual skill and fragging ability.
Well, they're going to run head first into them for the time. Although not, you've got to really just focus out the Xayah shields at this point. You've got to be able to track them as well. That Reinhardt's so vulnerable when a Xayah shield isn't available to her, which is so much of an issue. Finn doing a good job building up ultimate charge though. He's got a premium over currently about 20%.
Right now, Jasper going to be just pelting in with those fusion pellets. Gables has already lost mate. This could be critical. That's a slam.
That's 3 on the floor. No way you're going to be able to. Leo's shield, in fact, this happened last series as well. Not last series, last game, Harry. Leo's damage on his shield, he just takes so much. Just unable to get it back, and going down that early on is just so much of an issue.
Yeah, but Gables was the one who lost his mech first right here, and that could mean that Gables is just taking too much damage, forcing out a load of resources, and when you have a D.Va mech that's that low, not only is that potentially a lost combatant for your team, but it could also mean that you are struggling as a Reinhardt to really keep that protected. Could mean that you're not able to stag your shield as well as you would otherwise like. Rookie ready to go now with a Graviton Surge, could lock all members of GEEKSTAR together.
He's got it. Riley's going to get used to start off with. Graviton Surge still by Rookie's side. Youngmorn is going to be able to build this up rather close as well. He's only a couple of percentage points away. Team MVP now jumping on the heads of GEEKSTAR. They know they have this ult advantage currently. Youngmorn now only a couple of percentage points away. Rookie has to launch it soon. He launches it into the sidelines. Only catches 2. In fact, 3 as they do jump in to make sure the rest of the team do survive. But it needs a grab. Youngmorn once again letting his grab go loose in front of Jasper. And he ends up gobbling it all up. Leo now going oh so low, but the shatter was good enough for the time being. So what, does end up going down. And a nice 2-man self-destruct by GableC in order to end the team fight for GEEKSTAR.
We'll disapparate those supports right there. Froppy and Finn going back to spawn. They lost out on the Transcendence right there, but the sound barrier will remain in play and it will be matched by Waffle. GEEKSTAR now have the cemented hold that they want on defense. They have this high ground, they have the information, and they also have the drop on MVP space whenever they should want. But MVP space here, they can out-rotate them and get onto a point.
Still pushing him rather aggressively. So what? There's such a premium now as he was able to swing in so readily. Self-destruct on top of the payload. Leo blocks himself up for the time being, but look how split the members of GEEKSTAR are right now. Although Graviton Surge will come out and 3 people do get locked up. Valentine's going to get targeted. Another eaten grab. Rookie tried to respond from Team MVP, but GableC this time around is able to get the eat on his as well. No grabs for anybody right now, or at least they traded it, I guess.
No Xayahs are allowed to have fun today.
Yeah, exactly. Youngmorn does end up finishing this up with a nice double kill. GEEKSTAR are going to be able to continue to hold this payload. Moving back now, Harry.
It's going to be a game of 2 Earth Shadows right now. That's the main playmaking ultimate available for both of our teams right now, Leo and Soa. But we've seen consistently that Leo seems a little bit worse at staggering out shield health, which could mean that he's in a lot of trouble here. Soa is going to take a lot of damage, and Froppy didn't go the right way. He split away from his team and was easily hunted by Gabe Olsey.
Careful, and now you haven't got that speed boost to really disengage with. Valentine's going to go down as well. Leo has all the ground in the world that he can claim. Another team fight win by GEEKSTAR, just holding them so well around this corner. It doesn't really feel like So is on the same page of his team, kind of running in, and even Froppy there was like, okay, so I'm going to go for a boop, and then he just gets super punished. This car is still moving back, Harry.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's making the calls. MVP, once again, going to go for this rotation. They may decide to go through the small room instead of removing a huge amount of presence. It's actually a fake out. They're going around the other way. Want to try and catch out GEEKSTAR on the bottom. Once again, it's going to be a fight on first point here. So it looks to lay down the shadow.
Yeah, Leo already laid his down, so now So with a nice shadow advantage. Graviton Surge is going to pin him to where the payload did come out from. Graviton Surge, Kirby looks at that bomb, will they throw it in regardless? And now the shadow hits the ground. A Graviton Surge comes in as well. They need to make decisive use of these ults. Finally, Team MVP find the team fight that they wanted. But it was like shadow grab, we're going to throw in the bomb, just everybody pressing Q keys kind of out of sync almost. GEEKSTAR still end up falling, but they can still get back to this payload in time to contest before second.
Yeah, that was an expensive loss for GEEKSTAR as well. They used 4 ultimates there to try and keep their vice grip on that particular defensive point, and now they're going to have high ground once again. They can engage from here, and also it will allow Who to have a great sightline over the battle. They've got to keep this card contested, but it's so close to completing second point of Blizzard World.
Yeah, still got a little bit of time as well. They got 1:30. Although they're jumping onto the back line, Valentine goes down, and what a fantastic play from Assassin. Literally jumping on the heads of Team MVP. The beat is going to come through as well. Should signal the end. There was only a couple of meters remaining. They almost C9'd, but they're okay, Harry. Don't worry. Assassin using that rally as well. Nice little boot onto Jasper to get some extra ult charge, but both support ultimates, rally and beat, are going to be invested. But look at the ult bank for, in fact, both teams building up. Leo 10% away towards that shadow. So what the same. Rookie just with a slight premium on Yeonwon here with the grab.
The ult bank's definitely there, but the time bank is not Jaws. 45 seconds remain, and when you're this far away from the payload by your spawn, this could just mean one fight where you could usually squeeze out 2. And they are going to be bet on high ground straight away. GEEKSTAR are not going to let them have any of this for free. MVP forced to disengage, so what tries to build up towards his ultimate here. Himself and Rookie going to need these in the forthcoming fight. If they can get it with 1 though, that will be great setup for point number 3.
Self-destruct gets launched on top of the tank. A nice boop onto So What, but he actually pushes him down the stairs to more safety. Rookie and Yeonwon now have Graviton Surges of their own. It's up to Gable C to actually eat this grab. Rookie is going to get pinned to that wall.
Wow.
Rookie actually still ends up going down. Nice charge from Leo. Sends in the shadow as well, but it actually gets grabbed. Rookie setting it out, and Jasper setting in the self-destruct, finds 2 people. And now they can push this payload. OT is ticking through, but they step off the payload.
Where are
Team
they?
MVP
Oh no!
don't manage to get to it in time. They won the fight too. Jasper found 2 people with a self-destruct, but the cart was moving back, means overtime would not trigger. Team MVP step off, and a C9
Actual MVP 9
comes in. We can't rename it, Harry. That doesn't work like that.
When it's that bad, you really can.
Oh,
Leo also going for the clutch charge across the gap there. He's like, I believe I can fly.
Look at this. Look at this at the top of your screen right now. 5 seconds. The cart is still moving back. You can see the small arrow. And
It feels like Jasper thought he was on the cart, but like didn't realize how far back it had rolled.
Yeah,
Because they took so long to engage there. The fight actually started to break down about 55 seconds there. Like we saw 5 seconds on the clock when we took sort of like stock of the time after the last fight. It was about a minute left. So it took about 55 seconds for that cart to roll back that far. And it seemed like Team MVP, they just forgot that the cart does start moving back, and just thought, yeah, I'm on the cart, guys. It'll get through to second point any time now, because like where you were standing, that's where the golden box of victory is. That's where they assumed the cart might have been. It just didn't take stock of how far back it had gone, and sometimes things like that just escape your notice.
just happens. It's what it is sometimes. You C9, but you know, don't let it crack your mental. GEEKSTAR perfectly happy with this. Like, oh, you didn't pitch payload. Wow, we lost that fight. It's like, oh man, now we're gonna have to fight again. Maybe we stagger onto the point. Oh, they didn't touch. Oh, okay. Now we get our chance to attack. And what a position for GEEKSTAR to be in as well. So late on into the season, they could potentially go 2 and 4 today, which means their playoff hopes aren't forgone just yet.
You love the word, Jaws. Resurgence is certainly what it seems like right now. GearBallsy currently on the Xayah. Yonwon is going to be taking over the role of Sombra right now. Can get a little bit of point pressure already. You can see that he's accruing that. Going to force a rotation through, and straight away, the high ground's gone. No longer available for Team MVP. Now, GeekStar will be able to try and meet them down here, but it will be a 6v5 effectively while the Sombra sets up, and they could try and seize the advantage from that.
Moving on to Leo. Leo taking so much damage already. The Discord orb. You can see as soon as that Xayah bubble dissipates, he's going to take a lot of damage. Same with So What, though, whose shield just kind of got disintegrated.
It was hacked away, I think.
Right-clicking away. Oh, potentially so, yes. Young It's just going to be firing away. This should be a point take by GeekStar. There could be a recontest here by MVP, but it's going to take So What so long to actually get back. Nice little hack onto Jasper. Can't use Defense Matrix. Can't use those thrusters to get away. So What is going to get focused out as well on the top side. And what almost in record time, GeekStar might be able to just secure this first point. And now it's just one by one. They are trickling on to buy as much time as possible. 97%, ticking over to 100% almost for GeekStar. They built up an almost 6 ultimate bank as well. Waffle is just a little bit further behind. MVP have got nothing of the sort.
Yeah, Yonmon's getting so much value here out of just using the manual hacks, not having to use the EMP, and you can tell that right now GeekStar are in such a good position. They could win the next fight by only using EMP potentially if they're in a good position to engage. Obviously, Team MVP being up on the high ground may mean that GeekStar need to make a bigger rotation to try and be able to challenge them out here, but if they engage into Team MVP, then this could really work out well for them.
Well, EMP's going to come in. There's the Shadow as well. Oh, that's big. That's what you want to start off the team fight. Leo finding multiple people from Team MVP and just feeding themselves on the payload. I say that as Leo and Assassin end up going down. Hold your horses just yet. GeekStar still not out of the woods. OWC does find the kill onto Valentine, but now he's all alone in the front line to deal with Leo. Still with So What, sorry, who still has got that Shatter. He's swinging away, but OWC was able to just do what he wants, do what he pleases. He kills off Jasper. At least So What finds a kill. But now the priority spawn positions from GeekStar as they trickle back onto the point.
GearBallsy's got himself another Graviton Surge as well over the course of that fight, but Team MVP looking really good. 5 ultimates in the bank. They're ready to try and make the next engagement from the high ground once again. They don't want to be caught out by Yonwon. They love being up on the high ground because it means if someone gets hacked, then it's much harder for GeekStar to try and capitalize on that if they're not matching them in terms of elevation. And now you can see GeekStar, they are going to rotate around, deny that high ground away. Once again, Yonwon's going to be looking for a manual hack to begin. This could look for Thropy right here, and already there's the Transcendence and grab.
Onto the grab. There's no Reinhardt to be seen though. Leo isn't actually on the payload, in this fight just yet. They actually grab themselves. The self-destruct gets launched into the air. The Transcendence and Beat are going to be committed by GeekStar in order to win this fight. The Shadow's going to be pretty big, but So What needs to be able to get the follow-up. Rookie and Finn just right-clicking on in should be enough to seal them, at least this defense for the time being. Both teams just seemingly unable to actually push around this corner. 3 minutes and 20 seconds still remain for GeekStar though. You've got to be a little bit more wary of that. The time bank is in their favor as Youngwon actually has that EMP building up rather rapidly.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difference in efficacy for Yonwon here. He's not getting as many manual hacks as we saw in the original fight right here. He's having a lot of trouble disabling the abilities of Team MVP, who often seem to be taking a little bit of initiative here to make these engagements happen.
Straight down from the sky is the EMP, trying to force out something here as he doesn't end up using it. However, the beat is going to come through. All those shields now stripped away.
Oh man.
As So What and Jasper end up going down. Jasper falling there is just so critical as well. You can't eat up anything here, and GeekStar still moving this payload forward. They're only a few meters now, standing in their way of match point.
Yeah, MVP, if they don't want to find themselves up against the match point of GeekStar, they need to be able to win the next fight, and a couple after that. The time bank inexorably slips away as the cart rolls on forward. Jaws, GearBallsy's ready to lock him down. He's got the Graviton Surge.
They're not going to be able to get to it. GeekStar grabbing them off the payload. They can't touch, and GeekStar end up just sinking at home.
MVP, are they allergic to payloads?
I think at this point, probably. That they managed to touch, but you saw them actually get grabbed completely off of it. Enabled them to actually deliver the payload. MVP now going down 2 maps. GeekStar with a resurgence. Maybe that win against WGS, although it was a recon roster, really gave him the momentum shift that they needed in this season.
Indeed it did, and GeekStar GEEKSTAR are looking very good. Their coordination seems to be on point right now. Leo's looking very good, even if he is having to use his shield a lot less, in a lot less of a staggered manner than he would like, because GEEKSTAR is taking a lot of damage on that D.Va. That's the price you pay for having an aggressive, brawly D.Va who's putting out as much damage as GEEKSTAR is.
Yeah, we're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. Map number 3 coming up soon. We need to quickly resync our feeds. We'll be back very shortly.